All right. All right. Y'all know what time it is. This is a new improved face. This is a better face. This is traveling through life, figuring out myself, loving myself, knowing myself, and being happy to be here with you guys, healthy, mentally, physically, most of all, emotionally. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of This Is Recorded podcast. Yes, sir, we are back. Um, Before I get started with my thank yous to you people that reached out to me to check on me, to love on me, to show me love and support, man, it means the world. First and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to the beautiful soul of Tina Turner, Anna Mae Bullock. My last name is Bullock. May Allah greet you with peace. May God hold you in His arms. For I know she was a Buddhist. Well, may you reach nirvana truly and love this life and love the life that you have. The beautiful 83 years. Yes, 83. We blessed us if we see 83 and beyond. Everybody looks at Tina Turner really because of the beautiful Black Queen, which looks beautiful today still. Angela Bassett, her portrayal, and a lot of us, we have it as jokes and stuff like that. But when you really know the woman, which for me, through documentary, I love documentaries. Man, Tina Turner was everything. Tina Turner was amazing. She was a strong woman. She was a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful soul. She'd been through a lot and overcame that, and she fought hard for a peace of mind. And that's what I was doing. And that's was me being vulnerable. That was me having my down moment, of like, hey, how she had her down moments throughout her life, and it was rough and it was hard, and she was dealing with abuse and low self-esteem and different things like that. But then she fought for her peace. She fought and she became a Buddhist. She fought and finally stood up to a person in her life that was treating her wrong, and she fought her own personal demons. And that's what I was doing. This is recorded podcast. This is recorded. That's why it's the name. This is real. I can't hide and I can't tell you guys to be vulnerable and transparent while I don't really share too much. As I always say, make sure you're comfortable with sharing what you want to share to the people until you're ready, or if not, take it to your grave, But for me, I really want to thank everybody that reached out, man, and just really was checking on me. Some people shared some of their own personal things with me. That they've been going through in the comments, everything. I truly appreciate that. But what I want to continue to show people, and I want to continue to be myself, is a evolving person, a growing person. I want to be a hypocrite. Yes, that's right. All of us are hypocritical. We may think this way or say these things, but then we live or we move. But I always want to be a growing hypocrite. I always want to be showing growth and maturity in my life. I always want that for myself. I never, I'm in search of perfection, but I don't need it. I need me to be me more than be perfect. I need me to love me. I need me to grow. And I truly do. I look in the mirror, man. I love all sides of me. I love the high, energetic, happy, funny, go lucky, but I also love the quiet, standoffish, unsure, feeling unworthy, everything. I love that side of me because you know what? That makes me. These are the makers of you. Like I said, Curtis Mayfield, man. You just gotta fall in love with you, and that's what I do. I love me. I think back to the Lauryn Hill album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I still gotta have a debate with my Aunt Roz about which songs I take off, but they talked about love. What is love? And they talking about to young students. And I think your definition will change over the years, or your definition will be different depending on what you've been through in your life and where you at in your life, how old you are, what your experiences in life. And they say love is a feeling, but a feeling is a feeling. A feeling is happiness. A feeling is nirvana. But also a feeling is pain, despair, heartache. Also a feeling is elated, a feeling of butterflies, a feeling of I'm just high on life. That is also a feeling. So love is, it's unconditional. Love is incredible. Love can make you high. Love can make you feel low. Love is everything. But the love you have for yourself, the love I have for me, is that when I get my down moments, when I get in my funk, I fight hard, to get back to me, to get back to being better. But I always know, man, Reg, you're a blessing, man. You happy to be here. It's okay you down right now, but I have to give myself that pep talk. And my village, my people, like everybody that reached out this week, they came through. They said even some people, man. Shout out to boy Skis. He hit me up and was like, "Hey, just checking on you." I don't know if he even seen the podcast, but my higher power, my God, the Most High, Allah, whatever you call it, my peace, me, maybe the inner me that is God, come and speak to me and say, "Hey, I'm gonna bring people to you. I'm gonna bring them. That you need to be loved on. You need to be, you know, propped up. You need to feel that special love. The universe, the world, God, seeing that I need that, and I got that, and now I'm in a place of feeling so happy, so high. But also on this podcast, if I wanted to make something, I always wanted to make my art. This podcast is my art, and my art is real. My art is not artificial. My art is not made in a factory. My art is made from my heart. My art is made from my mind. My heart is made from my soul. My heart is made from me. From the day I was born to the day God calls me home. That is me. So that is what I love, man, and that's what you should love about yourself. When you have those times of doubt, when you have those times of pain, you have those times of hurt, look at you as your own kid. Look at you as your child. Look at the inner child in you and say, hey, it's okay. Coach yourself back to strength. Coach yourself back to feeling good. Coach yourself back to feeling proud of yourself, and coach yourself to let you know how far you came. Coach yourself that, hey, man, we down in the fourth quarter, but man, I love y'all, man. That's sometimes coaches just say, hey, man, I love y'all. And they go out there and play the game of life, but play to win. Shoot that shot. They all not going to go in. But when they go in, don't it feel so good, man? Love is beautiful. Love is, like Music Soul Child, what a beautiful song. Love, so many things I gotta tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. Because the possibility that you'll look at me differently. That's poetry. That is love. That is what it is. Because me being like everybody else would be like, I don't know if you should put that out. I don't know if you should tell people you want to quit. You got an image to keep up. You got this to keep up. But no, love is, it's a possibility that y'all will look at me differently. But I love me. I love me enough that I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I love me enough to know that being vulnerable is not being weak, it's freeing somebody. That's what people love that. My life is all music. People, when I play Fantasia, free yourself. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Because if me being vulnerable and transparent causes you to feel uncomfortable, you are not for me, you are not with me, and may God grant you peace on your way in life, because we will go our separate ways, and maybe we'll come back together one day, but maybe we won't. Also, in my journey through life, I understand and learn about boundaries. You have to learn about boundaries. You have to learn that the people you love, sometimes you have to create some separation so you don't hate them and so you don't say something that'll hurt. Sometimes you give a week or two or however long it takes for you to fall back and get back and talk to them at a place of peace, because when you talk from a place of hurt or a place of, frustration, and you have all these built up emotions, it could really erupt, specifically with people with their parents, people with their kids, people in relationships. You need to take that break. You need to take that peace. When I work Sundays, I work 12-hour shifts. I'm usually there by myself for about 10 hours of that. And it's really my peace. I just listen to podcasts and learn and get better. Speaking of podcasts, brief intermission. If you listen to podcasts, like I just like to listen to podcasts. I like to work or do something, or I'm at work, I'm listening to podcasts. In the intros, I used to love to play music that I love and set the mood, but Spotify is taking all my music down. Spotify is taking some of my podcasts down. So if you're a podcast listener like me versus a viewer, if you notice like, hey man, the music ain't there no more, it's because they've been taking my stuff down. They sent me a cease and desist, so I had to take it down. But yeah, on Sundays I find my peace. I sit and reflect at life, and every Sunday I come to the same conclusion: man, your life ain't that bad, bro. It's really not. You are not this moment. This is just a moment, and moments pass. But you know what? You have to make the good times last. Like today is beautiful outside, 70 something degrees. You walk outside, you feeling love, you feeling the breeze. It's summertime. You want to throw in that DJ Jazzy Jeff, the best summertime song, period. Go argue with your cat or something like that. That is the best summertime song ever. Summertime DJ Jazzy Jeff, Will Smith. Come on, man. I can't wait. That's the official summer anthem. But like I said, Sunday is when I get my meditation on of life and thinking and just feeling my feels and always knowing, like I always come to the same conclusion that it's not that bad. I want you to really come to the same conclusion that you are not this moment. This is a moment in your life. There's so many things in our lives where, you know, a car broke down or we had a breakup or we lost a family member and we thought like, man, there ain't no point of living, there ain't no point of feeling, there ain't no point of nothing. But there is, man. There's more. Look how many things you've done in your life that wouldn't have been possible if you, God forbid, would have took your life. If you just would have gave up on your kids and yourself and not worked or did the things you had to do to create the life and go on vacations and do this and do that. You know, we have to fight for ourselves. We have to fight for our love. We have to fight for our being, man. And man, fight for your people, man. We went to my nephew's graduation.
Great honor that I recognize Lovejoy High School class of 2023.
And it was just so much love in there. It was just so much, man, just love and support for people. And, you know, it's pretty much a HBCU high school, like 95% black students. So they ain't even try that hold your applause to the end stuff because they know everybody was in there turning up. They so proud because a lot of people in there didn't finish high school. A lot of people in there didn't think that the person walking across that stage was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it. I passed my exam for high school with like 3 points, the final exam, before they wouldn't give me a diploma. They would let me walk, but I wouldn't technically have a diploma. So I'm glad that I have one. You know, my father doesn't have a diploma. I don't even think he has a GED, you know. I mean, so for him, that was a lot for him because he didn't do that. So I got to do that. A lot of people is doing that. They doing it for their ancestors that didn't get a chance to get education. They doing that. This graduation, this celebration is just so much of everything. I seen these videos of kids in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They got their little dance where they run and they, as soon as they got their diploma, they snatched their joint and then all of them ran off stage and they doing their little dance. They got a little jig, and I love when people have dances from their own city. And the kids in Baton Rouge, man, girls was popping off their shoes and they hit their little dance because that's what we do as black people. We celebrate. We celebrate lives because there's so many times we had so much pain. So let's celebrate, y'all. When I go, celebrate me. When you go, let's celebrate you. Of course it's going to be sad because our human form is not here anymore. But the memories, man, money. What is money when you have memories? You know, when people get locked up, they say lock my body, can't trap my mind. Because yeah, my body is in here, but my mind is going to take me somewhere else. I'm always going to look forward to the day I get out. I'm always going to look forward to making better decisions next time. Always going to be looking forward to be a better me. Take this time to study and learn. You know, some of the hood dudes in New York say they went off to college. You know what I'm saying? When they go get locked up for a little bit, you know. So, you know, a lot of people, a lot of their kids and say, oh, I'm working construction job or something. Whatever it is, don't let it trap your mind. I'm speaking to me, but I'm speaking to you. Don't trap yourself. Don't trap your mind, and celebrate your people. we celebrated the young King Keon, man. We so proud of him. We just like, man, we proud of all these young kids that we put through, but we proud of him. He did it, man. He had some hurdles, some obstacles, you know, like anybody else, but he did it, man. We proud of all our young kings and queens that we raising up and helping. But it was just a celebration, that support, man. Me and my wife talk about it. It would be great to give your kids everything and every toy and this and that, but it's the love. When you get up there and you see the NBA players talk about, you know, we didn't have much, but we had love, and I didn't know we didn't have much, but I watched my mom do this and do that, or my dad took me out and he, you know, rebounded for me and did this and did that. And when I wanted to quit, he made me keep going, stuff like that. That's support, y'all. And what I'm telling y'all is that support I got from you guys, man, it means the world. Man, everybody that reached out, man, phone call, Lil Duke, I'm talking to G Merrick, my aunt, another aunt, Lisa, everybody that reached out, saying great messages on the podcast and motivational speeches. It means a lot, man. Man, compliment people. Tell people they're doing a good job. I always use the analogy, you may be the difference between somebody blowing their brains out or, you know, doing it or not doing it by how you act. If you tell somebody nice shirt, nice this, nice that, you look good, nice hair, nice hat, and just crack a joke with them, play with them. You never know what somebody going through. Treat everybody like you want to be treated, because you don't never know. You could be the difference. But for me, man, that difference of the graduation and just being there and a part of that was amazing. I love showing up. Man, that's one thing. I'm a soldier. You know, I'm ready to be a boss because I've been a soldier for so long. When somebody need me, I'm front line and center. But, you know, when it comes to something I want, like making my own money, doing my own things, and I'm working. That's why another thing about me being, you know, down and out, I'm like, dog, you got a lot of stuff. You had your photo event. You got a couple special, pay attention now, some special projects you working on that you want to do for the podcast alone from yourself, some production stuff. Man, this moment shall pass, you know. So for me, it's just like, man, to be there in that moment and celebrate Keon's graduation, celebrate everybody's graduation I've ever been to, man. It just means the world. Me showing up is it. I could give you money, but I could give you me. Which one do you want? All right, now that's a bar. I'm going to let y'all steal that, you know. But be a good person if you're going to use it. But that was for me. It was just like the support and feeling everything. And I mean, and in closing, before, you know, because I had to save it for last just in case I get emotional, because after graduation they had a segment for a young man that lost his life, and he got the first diploma because, you know, he was on the basketball team. He was from Jamaica. He wanted to build a food pantry back in Jamaica when he graduated, and or maybe when he possibly made it to the NBA, but he lost his life instead. You know, and they always talk about how the good die young, man. If that ain't a truer statement, I don't know what it is. That's why, you know, you have to live and you have to love and you have to understand you are not this moment. Reggie, you are not this moment, you know, and I'm talking to you and I'm trying to get you out of that dark and that hurt. You are not this moment. When you listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, you are not your worst moment. You have to get through. You have to fight for it. If you need help, ask for help. For me personally, if I was to still be there where I was at last week, this week, I have a therapy hotline. I'm not ashamed that I've been in therapy. I would reach out. I will talk to my wife. I will quit my job. I will take over because I've been down and out. It's some things that I wouldn't share on here today, but it's been some things in my life. It's been some things that you won't share with other people in your life that you've been down and out. But it's been some time, some dark, when you feel like, I don't think there is no way out, but you got to fight. Because there's somebody like that young man, God rest his soul, that he passed. And what made me, you know, so emotional, because we on a high of our nephew graduating, but we on a low of this young man not being there, you know, and the whole family's up there, and, you know, they're emotional, and the grandmother, they, you know, hand her the first diploma, and they have pictures of him up, and they have banners of him up, and the grandmother is just holding on to the superintendent or to principal because she's realizing, I have to relive this. He's really not here. All these people is here. They clapping, they applauding for this young man, but he's not here. But we celebrated him that day. We shed tears, but we shed tears of joy because God got a good one. When that young man left, God has a good one in y'all. The love you have to have for yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't be down on yourself. You are not this moment. I might have to title that, this moment. You are not this moment. And when people show up for you, remember that. When people love on you, remember that. When people care for you, remember that. Because this journey in life with this head and this mind of your own is hard. Shout out to the boy Skis, man, that take his brothers and stuff and they help him train. The little Dukes, that, hey, he went to go to graduation and see somebody off that, they seen and struggling, but they got together. The support, man, means everything. You have anybody in your life, but even if you have nobody, if you know you. I heard Snoop Dogg on the Pivot podcast recently. He said, I want to thank me. Thank you that you made it. Celebrate you, because that person that lost their life and getting that diploma, that could have been our family long time ago. That we wasn't going to be here, but we made it to whatever age we at. God bless. I'm 35. Inshallah, August 15, 36. 10 years of marriage, August 4th. I got a lot to celebrate. But in that celebration, I celebrate the bad days as well, because that's what makes me, the makings of me. I love me. I love me for better or worse, for richer or poor, through sickness and in health, till death do me part. I love me. Love you for better or worse. The vows are beautiful, because it don't just talk about the good days. This podcast don't just talk about the good days. We talk about all the days. We talk about everything. And we thankful because my aunt says it could be better, it could be worse. My aunt Yvette. And that's how I try to live my life. And that's how you should live yours. Be thankful today. Yeah, you may have your days. Today might not be your best day. But just know you had some great days, man. You had good vibes, good music, partying, watching a good movie, just looking around, enjoying the moment. You've had those too. I know you have. Be careful with your thoughts. Be careful with your mind. Be careful with your soul. Be careful with your love. Be careful with your life. Rest in peace, Tina Turner, once again. Man, beautiful soul. HBO documentary, Tina, man, it lets you know a lot about her, man. She had her highs and her lows, but she was living her best life. She just sold her music catalog a year or two ago, $150 million. I hope she spent every dime almost just living it up or left something for her family. Living her life, enjoying herself, because she had them dark days. She had them dark times. That's what the majority of us, people my age, know her for, the rough times. Even a joke, unfortunately, of it. Of movie lines and stuff. I mean, they made a good movie because of it, but she was no joke. She was, man, Beyonce credits Tina Turner for the way she hits that stage. If you didn't know, now you know. Shout out to Biggie Smalls. Rest in peace. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate while we living, but let's celebrate while we gone. Because them hard days is so temporary. Them hard days is PRN. If you know what that means, is as needed. Sometimes these days are needed to recognize and realize for ourselves that we got a pretty good life, because we had some rough days. So the good days, we're like, hey, I'm due for one or two. We have to really appreciate that. We got to love each other, love our life, man. In closing, man, this week, show up for somebody, man. Really, really show up, man. If they invite you, go. I mean, anything. Like I always say, send them a text, send them a card, a personal handwritten card. It might look like chicken scratch or something, but it means something. But do that. Do something for yourself as well. I speak into existence, man. You just get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. It's the summertime. I speak into existence life, and outsideness is not a word, but love. And man, it's summertime. New York in the summer, anywhere in the summer, man, it's a good time, man. I speak into existence. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, summertime, man. What he said, got your car waxed, but you can't speed through 2 miles an hour so everybody sees you. Man, it's summertime, man. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this life. I speak into existence an enjoyable week for you, inshallah. And this is recorded.
Trey, the future.